Welcome back to the channel, you rebel scum. On today's review, we're taking a look at Ezra Bridger, Hero of Lothal, from the Vintage Collection. This figure has been out for a while now, and I've been waiting until my HasLab Ghost arrived because I knew how tempted I would be to open the Ezra that comes with it. And as someone who would like to keep that figure in mint condition, I thought going this route might help my mint on card remorse just a little bit. Special shout out to BigBadToyStore for providing the figure for this review, and spoiler alert, the figure is incredible. So make sure to head over to Big Bad to secure yours today. As always, let's start off by taking a look at the beautiful card back. The Ahsoka logo dons the top of the card, as this likeness of Ezra is from his half-second appearance as a holo message in the show. Going along with the holo theme, the name pill and bubble background are a nice deep blue color, helping the figure really stand out. As I mentioned, this is the Hero of Lothal version of Ezra, but hopefully we'll get the Space Moses version that we see on Peridia at some point too. I feel like we're more likely to see an Ezra in Night Trooper armor first, as that would be an easy kit bash, but what do you think? Flipping the card around, we see the newer style of TVC packaging. There's a short blurb about the character, a nice action pose of the figure, and of course, it is TVC number 319. Moving on to the figure itself, he looks absolutely incredible. Hasbro has knocked another member of the Rebels crew out of the park in TVC, and all of these recent additions to the Spectre team really give their Black Series counterparts a run for their money. That said, this version of Ezra seems to be a bit of a mashup between his live action and animated appearances. In the days of Disney bringing animated characters to live action for the first time, this is not unusual to see, and I think they did a good job of splitting the likeness right down the middle. I would have preferred a Season 1 Ezra, as it is towards the top of my SWTVC March Madness wishlist this year, but this release is a good way to maximize the molds from the HasLab campaign. Speaking of the HasLab versions, let's take a look at the cards side by side to pinpoint some of the main differences. The figures are almost identical at first glance, but upon closer inspection, you'll notice the chest plate armor, which is mostly tan rather than yellow. The main release version doesn't have a yellow stripe down the middle of the torso, and some of the paint color choices are also slightly different from figure to figure. While they both look great and are a perfect representation of the character from seasons 3 and 4, I still want to see Season 1 Ezra in TVC. The head sculpt looks stellar and does a great job capturing a live action and animated Ezra. He has a scar below his left eye and jet black hair. There's some orange striping detail on his chest armor and a few deco hits on his torso, wrist, gloves, belt buckle, knees, and boots. As for the articulation, this figure has everything a modern 3.75-inch collector could want. His head sculpt is double ball jointed, with a pretty solid natural range of motion, although he can't look up very far and down very far. Still is good enough. He has a nice ab crunch and torso swivel. As for his arms, he has ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, a hinge on his wrist, and of course, swivel. Moving on down to his legs, he has the new style barbell hips, which makes posing these new Vintage Collection figures easier than ever before. I used to struggle to get TVC to stand up sometimes, and you just don't have that problem with these recent releases. Zeb, Kanan, Sabine, Hera, and Ahsoka are all fantastic figures that pose beautifully. Anyway, he has a thigh swivel, ball jointed knees, and of course, the classic rocker ankles. As far as accessories go, his belt and holster are not removable. However, they are malleable enough to pose with ease. He comes with a lightsaber hilt, ignited lightsaber, and blaster that stores nicely in his holster. Before we go, let's take a quick look at Ezra side by side with the rest of the Ghost crew. Even though this figure is more of a mashup than a 100% likeness, he looks so good surrounded by his chosen family, I am willing to look past this slight inaccuracy. Zeb was perhaps my favorite TVC figure of 2024, but honestly, every single member of the team is perfect and I'm beyond thrilled to finally have them all in our collections. Hasbro, please do the same with the Bad Batch, but maybe don't make it a HasLab this time, okay? In short, if you like Star Wars Rebels and Ezra Bridger, this figure is a must. From the perfect paint apps to the insane level of posability, this is the perfect version of Ezra to help Hera pilot your brand new HasLab Ghost. Just maybe think twice about giving him the keys to the Phantom. If you like this review and want to support the channels, please make sure to like and subscribe to Rebel Scum and Turntable to the Dark Side on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok today. Thanks so much for your continued support, Star Wars fam, and until our next review, may the Force be with you.